There we are, that's my bit of exercise, a little bit of foraging. There's something quite special about choosing plants that you have in your own garden or on a woodland walk that you can then embellish and use as Christmas decorations in your own home. And it is great fun to do. And of course, you're bespoke making these items, which not only is fun, it's not only bringing nature inside, it's not only bringing inside your home the beautiful fragrances that you get from the pine cones and the firs and the holly and a whole host of others, but you're also saving money at the same time because you're making your own decorations. And all of us have seen it. You go out to some of those swanky shops in the posh area of town, they've got a Christmas tree and it's completely decorated with pine cones and nuts and a cinnamon and a whole host of dried fruit and a whole host of other things. You can do it yourself in your own garden. And that's the clever thing about it. Now, growing your own Christmas decorations is really easy because most of the plants that grow, well, they're evergreens. And because they're evergreens, the nature of the plant itself makes it easy. I mean, growing things like holly is particularly easy. I mean, holly's great for it. The secret is you need a male and female holly to get the berries. Now, I don't always take the berries from mine because, as you know, I love feeding birds and I've got a lot of plants out there for birds, so I leave the berries for the birds. You can also embellish your holly with some baubles to bring the red colour back. And it's not just about green. You can get gold ones, Golden King. You can get silver ones, Argentia Silver Queen. Don't go by the names, by the way. I don't know who came up with them. Golden King is in fact a female, Silver Queen is in fact a male. So the best thing to do is ask the garden centres when you go for a male and female holly to make sure they pollinate so you get the berries. And also, you know, bottom of a Christmas tree if you've cut them out, or even some branches from when you've done a bit of here we are, I'll move it over this way without taking the whole basket to it, fronds from some of the hedging that you've got, evergreen hedging. There are many other varieties that you can grow that are evergreen. I advise you go to the garden centre, certainly at this time of year, and you can choose the evergreens that are there to embellish your own garden, and then you can take clippings during the Christmas period. And it doesn't just have to be evergreens. If you remember, earlier on in the year, I planted out some really lovely alliums, ornamental onions. I planted them in pots. You can get the bulbs at the end of autumn to plant in, and they shoot up these massive spikes. Gorgeous purple globes at the top, a real feature in the garden. And I love it. Do you know, for me, I love seeing them burst through the soil because the bulbs are about that big. So much energy comes up and it sends up this single spike of flower and it uses up nearly all the energy in the leaves. And then, poof, like a firework, it explodes with colour. And then when it dies back, it leaves these sort of like dried husks. And I leave those in the garden because I think they're quite, you know, architecturally interesting. And then I collect them and I dried them up in my shed. You may remember I did a video on it earlier on. And these are perfect to make as Christmas decorations. Now, if you use spray, you can spray them up. I've done some of them silver, some of them gold. By the way, if you are using spray, please make sure you're wearing gloves, also a mask as well in a well-ventilated area and all the other safety things that go with that. But I think they make marvellous decorations. On the tree at the front, I've not put too many decorations because I want you to actually see the plants that I'm talking about. I've got some little starbursts of allium heads there as baubles. I've got a real cheeky little pine cone that I collected. There's a local wood down here that me and the children go walking in, so we've collected some pine cones to spray. There's something really special. As you notice, just on the top of the Christmas tree there, that's the flowers from my fennel. The fennel in the herb area that's just all dying back now. There's still some fresh foliage at the bottom. I'm giving them a bit of protection because we've had some frosts around, but I've sprayed these up red. They don't naturally look like this, of course. And I think it makes a beautiful starburst at the top of the tree. All very natural, all extremely cheap to do, and you're making them yourself. It's a great activity. If you've got older kids as well, I think it's really important engaging them with nature and making decorations that becomes so important and personalised in your own home. Now, I also had a big area that I planted out with wildflowers, and you may remember towards the end of the season, one of the videos that I put together was about collecting seed. And these are poppy heads, and I collected the seed from it. Just think about that for a minute. I get the beautiful flowers of the poppies. I get a lot of other plants around there also producing, and the pollinators really love it. I also get all the seeds for next year free from these, and now I'm spraying them up to create Christmas decorations as well. How marvellous is that? You get a lot of bang for your buck with certain plants. Oh, and here's a good tip. The issue is when you sprayed them, that's all very well, but what you're going to do with them while they dry, rather than leave them on the bench and it marks the bench and then it marks the back of that, just get hold of a pot, put a bit of soil in there, a bit of sand or a little bit of peat-free compost, and when you spray them, just spike them in. That way it holds it upright until it's fully dried, then you can take it and use it as you will. But using them in displays, in containers, on trees is really good. Of course, you can also create a wreath as well. You can buy these little frames that you can use year in, year out. These are really nice because they're wicker, but you can also get metal ones as well. And then by using the fronds from the clippings from your hedge to go around the outside, you just wire them in. It's incredibly easy to do. I've also got some of my little alliums sprayed up and a little nestling centerpiece of pine cones. If you really wanted to, of course, you could add a little bit more colour in there as well. One or two, as you can see, you get the picture, and you can create your own wreath for your front door. How amazing is that? It's all about bringing goodness in, and of course the fragrance is very powerful as well. Things like a lot of the cuttings, Thuya and Chamis Paris, are a couple of varieties of hedging conifer, and oh, that's beautiful. They have a beautiful scent. They have such a beautiful scent of pineapple, fresh pineapple. Try it. Go and smell your hedge. You have to slightly bruise the foliage and take a smell. It's really, really stunning. And of course you can then embellish. You can either use, baubles again. You can use little pine cones. You can be imaginative. Collecting items that are growing in your garden, spraying them up with colour and taking them inside. It's not using or introducing plastic. It's all natural materials that are free within your garden to do that job. It's great fun. It brings fragrance into the home. It saves you money and it looks beautiful too. Think about growing your own Christmas decorations. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share. And for more great information, visit my website, daviddomoney.com.